Thank you for choosing Blade for your restoration business. In this video, we'll explore the services console. Let's get started. Click the gear icon in the upper right corner, then select Account Settings and go to the Services tab. These services are a list of the goods and services you provide. Each service list item can be highly tailored to ensure that only the correct line items are available on every job. I'll explain this in more detail as we go along. At the top, you'll see a drop-down menu containing every service item already configured in your account. Pick a desired service item or search by SKU or service item description. Each service item requires several key fields. The SKU is the unique ID for the service. Choose a SKU strategy that helps you easily identify each service item for easy reference. The SKU must be alphanumeric and cannot be duplicated. Select a unit of measure from the list that best represents how the quantity of this service item is calculated. The technician description is the text the users see when searching and selecting services. Users search and select services when entering work performed at the job site or when creating an invoice. Keep this technician description brief. Make it clear using language your technical staff can easily understand. The invoice description is the text that appears on printed invoices. It can be longer and more detailed. Blade allows you to upload a help photo and create help note. This photo and note are available to users of Blade. They do not appear on invoices or other public documents. When adding a line to work performed or an invoice, click the small information icon next to the selected line. The photo and help note appear to give the user a better understanding of the service item as they enter job scope and invoice data. The Adder SKU is a powerful feature that helps ensure your team never misses billable line items. The Adder feature lets you bundle services that are typically performed together. These adders prompt users in real time, helping ensure nothing is missed on the job or the invoice. Let me give you an example. This service item is a billable line for detaching and removing a vanity. Let's find and add the service for capping a supply line to this adder bundle. Now, let's add another service for detaching a P-trap. Okay, let's add one more. How about a line for detaching a single bowl sink? Now let's see how our bundle simplifies data entry. We'll enter detached vanity to our list of work performed on a mitigation job. Shazam! The system prompts the user to also add the bundled service items. This function works the same way when building an invoice. Once configured on this service page, this adder feature works the same in both the mobile and website apps. The adder feature is a powerful way to accelerate and simplify data entry. It helps ensure your invoices include all billable items, and it can be an effective way to help your technicians recognize billable work. Slide the item status toggle to activate or deactivate the service item. These next settings allow you to tightly control how this service item is used throughout the app. Select from normal, after hours, or not applicable for the hours of service setting. If you mark this service item as after hours, it is only searchable and selectable on invoices and when entering work performed if the date of service occurred after normal business hours. Here's how this works. When users enter invoice lines or work performed, they first select a visit date. If the visit date occurred during normal business hours, this service item is not selectable. It is only selectable if the visit date is after normal business hours. Selecting Not Applicable means that business hours do not apply to this line item. This line will be searchable and selectable on every job. The type of water and waste handling settings work in a similar way. Type of water is set to Cat 1 water for this service item, and waste handling is set to bag and haul away. So, this service item will only be searchable and selectable if the job parameters match these settings. Selecting Not Applicable means this service item is searchable and selectable for all types of water. The same is true for waste handling. Select Yes or No for the general service setting. Selecting Yes means this service item is a general invoice line and is not related to work performed within an affected room. Selecting No means this service item is not a general line item and is a service that is performed within an affected room. This setting is used to consistently organize the placement of service items on the invoice. Blade organizes the invoice by section. The first section is the general section. We call it the All section. All other sections are simply the names of affected rooms at the job site. Work performed within an affected room at the job site is typically listed on the invoice within that room section. The emergency service call is a good example to look at. The service call was not performed inside an affected room at the job site, so it is a general service. We set the general service setting to Yes. Then when the service call is added to an invoice or a list of work performed, the line is automatically added to the All section, even if the user selected a room in the entry bar. The service type allows you to mark this service item as equipment. Blade uses this setting to automatically add equipment line items to equipment logs. Let's add the air mover line item. Notice that the item is automatically added to the equipment log. Now, let's take down the air movers using the equipment log takedown feature. The equipment line item is automatically added to work performed or the invoice. Blade calculates the correct number of run days and also adds a line item note documenting setup and takedown dates. Control and standardize the placement of this service item on the invoice using your own alphanumeric invoice order scheme. Standardizing the order of line items on the invoice helps your team be more accurate when inspecting and reviewing invoices. Enter a custom prompt to help your users know exactly what quantity to enter when using this service item. This prompt is visible where the users enter work performed or invoice line items. Select a value from the main filter that best categorizes this service item. Select a value from the subfilter that further defines this service item. These filters are used within Blade when your team members want to search for service items using Blade's filtering feature. This type of line item filtering works the same on both the mobile and website apps. Filtering is a powerful way to find line items when recording job scope information or when creating an invoice. It can also be a very useful way to train new employees. For example, a new technician may not have any idea that detaching an electrical oven could be a billable item, and so the tech may not record the work. The technician can click through main and sub-filters to quickly learn which items are billable and should be recorded in the job scope. Create or customize these filters on the General Inputs tab within General Settings. Okay. The last setting that helps you control where and how this service item is used throughout Blade is the trade assignment. Check all that apply. Some service items are applicable to every type of disaster restoration job. Others are only relevant to specific types of restoration work. For example, this temporary decon chamber is only set to be searchable and selectable for hazardous material remediation. If the job is a water damage mitigation job, this service item will not be searchable and selectable. All right, now let's touch on the last section. The invoice line item note allows you to create a custom line item note. These notes provide more detail about the specific line item, or they can use to provide detailed justification and support for why you included this service item on the invoice. If the Auto Add Note checkbox is selected, this line item note is automatically added to the invoice or to the list of work performed when this service item is added. Line item notes can be edited directly in the invoice or within the list of work performed. Select an invoice support note that is automatically added to the end of a printed invoice. Simply select the trade, then find the correct support note. Then click the plus button. Check this checkbox to enable auto printing. This note is used to provide detailed support and justification for the use of this service item. These notes can be useful to help you negotiate settlements with insurance adjusters and explain your services. Learn more on the Invoice Settings tab or in the Support Center's Invoice Settings module. To add a new service item, click the New Service button and enter all required information. Okay, that's a quick overview of Blade services. Explore other training modules in the Support Center to get the most from Blade, the software that helps you maximize profit and quickly turn your hard work into cash.